Hi everyone and welcome back to another video of Kiwi Investments. Investing in the US market has finally become available through Sharesies. So now there are 3 different user-friendly platforms Kiwis can use to invest in American companies. And these are Sharesies, Hedge and Stake. So in this video we will do the best we can to compare these 3 platforms. And later on in the video I will show you some actual examples of what buying and selling looks like through these platforms. By the way, I have referral links in the description for all these 3 platforms. So if you're going to sign up, make sure to use those links in the description to get yourself free bonuses. As of making this video, if you use my link to sign up with Sharesies, you will get yourself $15 just for signing up. And if you use my link to sign up with Hedge, you will get yourself $10 when you top up $100 or more. And if you use my link in the description to sign up with Stake, you will get 1 free stock of either Nike, Dropbox or GoPro. Once you get it, you can sell it. Nike is around $100, Dropbox is around $20 and GoPro is around $5. So that could be free money for you to trade with. I have already done a video comparing Hedge with Stake and I went into a lot of details about those 2 platforms. Link to that video will be in the description as well, or it'll pop up on your screen at the end of this video. Okay, let's get started. We'll work through this table that I have created to work out which platform is best for you. Now comparing these 3 platforms is a tricky one because each of these 3 platforms uses a different exchange rate. So what I will do in this video is go get a snapshot right now on what the exchange rates are and fill in this column. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm logged into all 3 platforms right now. And if I go ahead and hit refresh, expand this. So we got the Sharesies exchange rate right now. Go to Hedge, hit refresh. We got the Hedge exchange rate right now. Go to Stake and hit refresh. Expand details and we got the Stake's exchange rate right now. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of these 3 exchange rates into our spreadsheet. Hedge is 0.6527. So I've come back to the spreadsheet, type in 0.6527, enter. Come to Stake. The exchange rate that they will change your money is at 0.6558. So let's put that in, 0.6558. Let's go get the Sharesies exchange rate and they're changing our money at 0.6556. Let's come back to our spreadsheet, 0.6556. And as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, all 3 different platforms uses 3 different exchange rates. 2 of them, Stake and Sharesies, are very close to each other, but nonetheless, they are still all different. Okay, now let's say you have $2,000 you want to invest in US company. So let's come up here and type in that you have $2,000. So go 2,000, enter. Now, when you exchange that $2,000 into US dollars, there will be a fee. And I have set up this table so it works out the fees automatically. But just to go through the fees, if you have a look at Sharesies, they will charge 0.4% of the amount being exchanged. So if we come back to our spreadsheet, I have put the formula of $2,000 times 0.004, which is 0.4% in decimal amount. See, I knew there was a reason why I paid attention in maths class. Okay, let's keep moving on. For Hedge, I put down included just to keep things simple in our table here because it's the column next to it is what I want us to focus on. Not this because it's hard to compare the exchange fees because all 3 are so very different. It's like comparing apples with oranges because Sharesies, the fees are calculated in New Zealand dollar, whereas with Stake, the fees are calculated in US dollars. And with Hedge, if you have a look at their fees, it's included in the exchange rate. So it's all very different. Let's keep going. Stake will charge you 1% of the amount you are trading. So if we come back to our table and for the formula, I put down the amount we have times the exchange rate and then times 1%, which will give us 13 US dollars. Okay, now let's look at this column and it will be much easier to compare. But don't make any decisions yet because we still have a long way to go. So once you have converted your New Zealand dollars into US dollars, you will notice that you get far less money with Stake because when you get your money times by the exchange rate they are giving you minus the exchange fee, you will be left with $1,298.48 in US dollars. Whereas with Hedge and Sharesies, you will get $1,305 with a few cents difference. If you play around with the money that you have, let's say you have $1,000 instead of $2,000, it's a very similar story. So let's come back to our $2,000 example. You will get about $7 less with stake. Okay, now when it comes to buying a company, there's fees involved as well. So if you go have a look at their fees, Sharesies will charge you 0.5% of the order amount up to $3,000 and then 0.1% of any amount over $3,000. So in our table for the formulas, I put down our money that we have in US dollars times 0.005, which is 0.5%. And when it comes to hedge, they will charge you a flat fee of $3 per transaction. So if you come back to our table, I just put down $3. And if you have a look at stake, this is where they really stand out and shine. They have zero brokerage fee, so you can buy and sell as many times as you like. So if you come back to our table, I just put down 0. Now let's say you want to buy a company called ABC. And let's just say ABC is trading at $500 per share. Now let's have a look at how much of ABC you can own after all these fees you have gone through so far. Now it looks like you will own 2.6 shares of ABC regardless of what platform you use, but not too fast. So if we go up to our money, our initial money, and double that to let's say 4,000, hit enter, and you will see a little bit of a different story. You will own more of the company with hedge and far less of the company with stake. Now, if we go and put just $500 more into our example, you will see the difference. Amount of shares that you own gets even bigger. Anyways, let's come back to our $2,000 example. Hit enter. Okay, let's say you have waited for a bit and your company has gone up by 20% to $600 a share. And let's say you're happy with this profit and you decide to sell at $600 per share. Well, then there will be the transaction fee again. With Sharesies, it's 0.5% of the transaction amount. So in the formula, I have put down 600 shares times 2.6 shares and then times 0.005, which is 0.5%. And that gives us a total of $7.80 paid in fees. With hedge, it's a $3 flat fee, and with stake, there is no fee for buying and selling. And the column next to it is the US dollar amount you will get from selling your investment. So for the formula, for the people that are interested, I have put down 2.6 shares times $600 a share minus the fee. I did that to all of them, and these are the results. And as you can see, hedge is now leading the way with about $1 more from stake. And at last price, we have Sharesies, which is roughly about $8 less from hedge. And if you were to play around with the initial amount that we invested, so let's say we invested $4,000 instead, and check out the difference. The difference is much bigger. Let's come back to our $2,000 example, because we are not done yet. We still have to exchange this back into New Zealand dollar amount so that you can enjoy your profit. So let's see how much of your profits gets eaten by these platforms. Now in our example, let's say the exchange rate is exactly the same as what it was at the time when we deposited the money. So the Kiwi dollar held this position against the US dollar, just to keep things simple. So the inverse amount is simple to calculate. It's just 1 divided by the New Zealand to US dollar rate. And then we will get the US dollar to New Zealand rate. So when we exchange US dollar to New Zealand dollar, Sharesies will charge you 0.4% again, but this time it will be on the US dollar amount. So in our formula, I have put down US dollar amount times 0.004, which is 0.4%. For hedge, I just put down included just to speed things up, because it's the column next to it is what I want us to focus on again. Stake charges 1% again, but this time with an additional $2 withdrawal fee. So in our formula, I put down the US dollar amount minus $2 times 0.01, which is 1%. And that gives us a fee paid of $15.56 in our example. So now we come up to our final column, which is how much you have made. Now remember, we started with 2,000 New Zealand dollars, and this is the amount in New Zealand dollars we ended up with. And just to make things interesting, let's bring a podium to see who the winner is. Okay, so I have brought a podium in just to make it more colorful and interesting. So anyways, with our $2,000 example, we made the most profit with hedge. So hedge gets the #1 spot in our example, because we made $389 in profit, followed by Sharesies where we made $357 in profit. And at last place we have stake where we made $352 in profit. So there you go, a nice little finish. But don't go running off yet because there's still a lot that we need to discuss. For example, we only bought one company with our $2,000. If we were to split this into $1,000 each and buy two companies, then Hedge will take the last place because Hedge will charge $3 each time you make a transaction, whereas Sharesies charges a percentage. So this would always be $6.53, even if you split $2,000 into two $1,000. But because Hedge charges $3 per transaction and you're buying two companies, this will be $6 because you made two transactions. And if you were to split your $2,000 even more and buy a bunch of different companies, then very clearly Stake will take the number one spot because they have zero transaction fee. So you can buy and sell as many times as you like with Stake. And in that instance, Stake will definitely take the number one spot. Now, $2,000 might be a lot for some people. So let's change that to $100 and let's see who takes the number one spot. And would you look at that? What used to have the number one spot now takes the last spot in our podium. And you made a little bit more money with Sharesies than with Stake. So Sharesies take the number one spot. Now, what if you want to invest large amount? Let's say about $10,000. Well, I have a different spreadsheet for that because of Sharesies' transaction structure. Because they charge 0.5% for the first $3,000 and then 0.1% for every amount after that. So I worked it out to be $15 for the first $3,000 and then the remaining you will be charged $3.59. But it doesn't matter because the larger the amount that you invest, the cheaper this flat $3 fee will be. So the difference between what you made through Hedge and Sharesies is even bigger. So Hedge takes the number one spot here as well. Just like what happened in our $2,000 example. So if we change this to $2,000 again, Hedge is our clear winner. Stake at last and Sharesies at number 2. But it really all depends on you on who takes which place in the podium. Remember, if you were to take this $10,000 and buy multiple companies, then Stake would probably be at number 1 because you will save a lot of money from the buying and selling fees. Again, it depends on how many companies you buy. Also, one other thing to consider is that Sharesies charge $30 each year to use their platform. Their fee wasn't included in these transaction examples. So that's another thing to consider when you're choosing which platform to use. At the end of the day, it all depends on you and how you plan to invest. I can't give you that answer for you because I don't know how much and how active of a trader you are. Only you know yourself best. And from what I have shown you here today, hopefully that has given you some sort of clarity on which platform is best for you. Or you can do what I do and use all 3 platforms and gain the advantage of all 3. For example, I'm very active on Stake, buying and selling a lot of companies, and I buy and hold my favorite companies with Hedge. And Sharesies is new, but I probably use them for their speed at which they convert money. So let's talk about that. With Hedge, if you want your money to be ready before the market opens, you have to have your money deposited into their ASB account before midday. And with Stake, they will charge you extra for the express speed. So in the chance if you hear some good news and you think some companies might benefit from it and it's like 3 p.m. in New Zealand time, Sharesies would convert your New Zealand dollar the fastest because Stake would charge you extra for that speed. Having said that, another benefit of Hedge is that you can have your money ready and sitting in your account and it will earn you interest from that money that is not invested. The other 2 platforms don't give you interest for the money that you haven't invested yet. There has been a couple of times where I deposited money into my Hedge account, waited for a while, made a little interest, and then I realized that the exchange rate has gone in my favor. So I withdrew that money and made a little profit without investing in any companies. So that was pretty cool. So there you have it. There is no clear winner. It all depends on you and how you are planning to invest. There are disadvantages and advantages in all 3 platforms. Pick your poison and go for it. Don't forget about the sign-up bonus links in the description. Use them to get yourself free money and a free stock. Alright, before I go, I will show you a very quick example of what buying and selling US stocks looks like with Sharesies, since it's a new feature. I have now converted US dollars, but that's alright when it comes to Sharesies. So if you go to to invest and type in any company you want to buy, New Zealand or American, and in this case, I want to buy shares in the American company Adobe. And on this page, it will tell you if the market is open or not. Right now in New Zealand it's 1:40 in the morning, so the US market opened 10 minutes ago. And if you go down, it has a little bit of info about the company. Let's click on buy. So you can pick limit buy, just like with the other two platforms, but I'm gonna go market buy just to see the speed of it. It should be the same speed because all three platforms we discussed in this video uses the same US broker, which is DriveWealth. And I want to put $200 US, go review. Now they will clearly lay out all the fees. At the top, you have how much the buying fee would be. So this is that 0.5% we talked about. And if you expand this, it'll show you how much New Zealand dollars Sharesies will take out from our wallet, $309. And it shows the exchange rate, the exchange fee that we talked about, and the amount I would get in US dollars. One of my biggest complaints is how slow Sharesies is. So let's see how fast this will go. Right now, Adobe is trading around $462. Let's put the order. Sure. Okay, let's go back to our portfolio. You can see it's buying. So if we go to our wallet, you can see that the money has been deducted to exchange into US dollars. And if you click on that, we get more info like how much has been taken out from our wallet. Let's go back to our portfolio. Oh look, I now own shares of Adobe. Pretty cool. If you click on it, go to your investment, it shows more details like how much is your holding worth, what your return is so far, dividends, and so on. I just want to point out how amazing it is that we have 3 different platforms to choose from when it comes to investing. When I first started out, buying US shares was a massive hassle. Had to make phone calls to the bank and deal with crazy amount of fees. Then, when hedge came into the scene, I was very happily paying $8 per transaction. Since then, it's been getting easier and cheaper to invest in the US market. So we should really appreciate all 3 platforms discussed in this video. If you want to know what buying and selling looks like with the other 2 platforms, with hedge and stake, I went into a lot more details comparing them in a previous video. That video should pop up on the top left-hand side of your screen. Consider subscribing for more videos covering the stock market. Click on the Kiwi dollar on the top right hand side of the screen to subscribe. If you liked this video or if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. Or if this video made you more confused on which platform to use, then hit the like button anyways. Stay safe and invest safe. See you in the next videos.